Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just Another 20-something with me, Marissa. All right, this isn't going as smoothly as I thought it would. I am now on third recording of this because I feel like I just am not getting my words out the way I want them to be out, and so I'm truly going to follow the guideline that I made for myself. I literally have an outline of the topics that I want to talk about, and I am going to try and stick to it, so this makes sense in my mind. So we're going to start off with, how have I been doing? Great question, Marissa. How have I been doing? Well, as you can tell by the title of this video, recording, podcast, episode, Jesus. As you can tell from the beginning, as you can tell from the title of this episode, we are going to be getting deep today. I told you guys last week that I just wasn't in the headspace for it, and I wasn't. I was not. I was very much having a really hard time. Mostly it was just I was so exhausted. I was mentally drained. I was emotionally drained, physically drained. I have been working a lot and not having a lot of time just for myself and my own peace. And so I am trying to kind of implement those good practices back into my life as I am about to jump into another heavy work week. I need to try and focus on the things that do make me happy throughout the days. Because when I don't have a days off, I need to try and get in those times of relaxation on the days that I work. I need to try and still better myself. But yeah, so this last week I was very just drained all around. And I almost just kind of felt like the world was kind of against me. Because I was like, why is it that everything is going wrong? Everything is bothering me. Everything is getting on my nerves. Like, I feel like I'm just not moving forward. Like, I'm just in this weird loop in my life where it's like just constant negativity, and I was unhappy, obviously. Now I am starting to feel a little better. It helps that I had a day off. I had a day off yesterday, I have a day off today, so it's nice to kind of recoup, get ready for the next week ahead of me. That has been really nice, and I have taken the time to really rest and be good, which is good. But yeah, right now I've processed a lot of the emotions that I was feeling the last few weeks, with all the stuff that's kind of going on in my life. And I wish that I could be specific, but I just can't. So you're going to have to take my vague little stories and just run with them. But basically, there's just a lot of decisions that I've been having to make. And making those decisions is not something that I like to do. I like to just pretend that nothing is actually happening. But guess what? That is not reality. Reality is you have to make decisions. You have to be an adult. And it's not going to be fun, but you have to do it. So that's kind of been where I'm at. And I've been doing okay with that. I definitely can say that I feel better than I did last week. And I'm ready to conquer this week. I'm feeling good. And I'm hoping that stays with me. And I hope as time goes on, it gets better. I did see that we are heading into a new moon. Okay. Yes, we're having a Taurus new moon. So that'll be exciting. It's supposed to be comfortable, peaceful, feeling of home, which is definitely something that I am looking forward to. That is something that I need. So I'm happy that it's kind of turning a little bit of a corner, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about all today is, I guess, just like how struggling and being in a annoying place, like how that isn't forever and how it will move on and stuff like that. So to stay on track, we're going to start with my first bullet point, which is it's easy to stay miserable. And I think that is kind of what I was doing these last few weeks. I was very much being like, just very nitpicky on all the maybe few bad things that would happen. I would be like, oh yeah, classic. Like I'm already struggling and now this is happening. And then this is going on and blah, blah, blah. Like it was easier for me to just stay negative and be in that negative headspace and be like, this is going to be my life forever. There's no way I can get out of this. Like, you know? And so I kind of kept having that mindset and I kept being sad. Every day I was not doing good because I was focusing on all the negatives. And I do want to say that it's not a bad thing. I mean, you should obviously take into account what feelings you are having. And I don't want to diminish the feelings that I've been having and the feelings of struggling because it's real, it's true, it's happening, cool. And so I don't want to be like, oh, just let it go, be positive. If you're positive, your whole life is different. And I mean, like, yeah, to a degree, but there's just also times that you're going to be miserable. You're going to be stuck and you're going to be negative. There's going to be times that you're negative. If you let the negativity obviously take over your entire life for weeks or months or years, then we have an issue. Then it's starting to obviously become a problem and you're not trying to fix it. So I would say be negative, have that period of time where you're sad and you're miserable, and then start to think about the positive things. Start to look on the silver linings of, okay, yeah, maybe this sucks, but what are the good things that can come out of this and stuff like that? Because this leads me to my next point. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. Those feelings of miserableness are going to go away. Feelings of happiness are going to go away. I mean, us little humans, we are just truly on this roller coaster of life where it's going to be up and down. It's going to be sideways. It's going to be backwards. It's going to be crazy. And truly nothing in this life is permanent. So I try to take that, into the last few weeks that I've been having that, yeah, like I have felt like this is going to be my life forever. And it's like, no, sweetie, this is only the beginning. You haven't even lived life yet. But we're not there yet. Next little point is struggling is just a sign of growth. You can't grow as an individual if you're in the same place forever. This is something that I try to remind myself all the time because I would love to just be like, just have an easy life, to never struggle, to never be sad, to never have moments of confusion or doubt or whatever. Like, I want to be happy. I want to be frolicking in a field. I want to be living my best life. And unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society where that is not going to happen. No, but it's true. We are designed basically to be machines and to work our lives away. And when I think about that too much, then I definitely get miserable. But I have to take in just the little struggles that I have. Like for me right now, I'm having struggles in my personal life. I'm having struggles in my work life. And so I'm trying to take those struggles and be like, okay, what can I learn from this? How is this making me grow into a better person? Is it making me grow into a better person? Or again, back to the other stuff, am I making it too negative? Am I not taking the good situations out of this. And this is kind of what I want to say about this is you can kind of turn these moments into growth moments if you choose to. Because like I said, it's really easy to just sit in the negative and be like, nope, this is just my life and I'm going to complain about it and I'm never going to do anything to fix it and I'm never going to grow. And obviously if you stay in that mindset, yeah, you're never going to grow. You're never going to turn into a better human because of this situation. You're going to like harbor it. You're going to resent people. Like you're going to turn into a gross human being, basically. Because if you just sit around blaming others or blaming yourself or whatever for any situation that you're going through, like how are you ever going to get to the good stuff? Like you're not even letting the good times roll through. Like you're just basically manifesting your life as a negative one where you could be manifesting a positive one. So that's something to keep in mind. And I'm telling that to myself as well, that if I truly want to have a good experience and I want to be learning from these experiences that I'm going through right now, then I have to make that conscious decision to be like, okay, I am forming a lesson out of this. What am I learning? What am I learning from this struggle point? What am I learning about myself? What am I learning about other people? You know, so there's that. Then I have, yes, something bigger is in store. So most of the time, and I'm not going to say for every single occasion, because there's a lot of times of struggle or of heartache that maybe shouldn't happen to some people. You know, there's a lot of trauma or devastation that can happen that shouldn't have happened. Yes, maybe you can still quote unquote learn from it, but like there are things that happen to people that just shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen to them, but we live in a gross society and it has happened to them. But I'm speaking, you and me, I'm talking about like we just went through like a bad friendship breakup, a boyfriend breakup, we just quit our jobs, we just got fired from our jobs, we are moving to a new city, we're having to move back home. Like I'm talking about this is the kind of struggles that we're going through, that we're confused and stuff like that. So usually when we are struggling with these things, it is because there is something bigger and better for us waiting down the road. And yeah, I mean, there are times, you know, when the phrase is thrown out, everything happens for a reason. And like I said, sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. Because again, what would be the reason of like huge traumatic events that has happened in America at least? What is the reason behind that? And I'm not going to go deep into that because haha. But I think there are sometimes things happen for a reason. And things happen so you can grow from it, and then you'll realize it was setting you up for this other thing. So, like, let's say you're having a fight with a friend. Maybe you're having the fight with a friend because maybe your communication has been off for a while. Maybe this is giving you a better opportunity to really understand your friend and get to know your friend. Maybe you were being a little more selfish into yourself and you're like focusing on your needs and not on their needs, or vice versa. Maybe they weren't giving you the energy that you were putting into them. And this fight is letting you guys have that conversation to grow as individuals and grow your relationship. Or let's say that fight turns into a friend breakup. Maybe you guys stop being friends. Maybe there's a reason that happened. Maybe you shouldn't be friends anymore. Maybe that friendship was not benefiting you in any way. Maybe there's something bigger, something better. Maybe you will find a new friendship or new relationship that is so much more fulfilling to you and to them that it would just be wasteful and almost more hurtful to yourself to stay in this friendship that just wasn't good for you. And that could be also said for relationships or whatever. There's usually a reason that something like this is happening, and it's because it just wasn't supposed to be like that for that long. And that makes me think of, I was listening to the Off the Vine podcast with Caitlin Bristow, and she was talking to Carly Pierce, who is a country singer. She's amazing. Listen to her music if you're into country music. And Carly just went through like a huge divorce, and Caitlin was talking about that like famous, line of being like, people come into your life for like a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I think that's honestly true. Like, I think most of the people, even like when it's for a season, it's also for like a reason or a lesson or something. Like some people are truly just meant to come into your life to maybe teach you more about how to treat other people and how to treat yourself and what you deserve and stuff like that. And then it's time to move on. It's time to go to the next big thing. And hopefully that next big thing would be something even better and something even greater and something that you are more fulfilled in your life. That also brings me to my next case in point, that we, you and I, all of y'all listening, because I know that we're all in our 20s. I checked the stats. I don't have very many people older than 20 something, no 30s. Sorry. But if you are in your 30s, thanks for listening. But most of the people who listen are in their 20s. And guess what? We're really freaking young. And even if you're in your 30s, you're still freaking young. Because guess what? We haven't even lived any life yet. Like me and my friends, we are all around 22 to 24. And yeah, if you think you've lived all that life has to give you at 22 to 24, you are just not right. You're just not right. It's not, there's so much more that we have. And I almost just feel like the struggling that we've had to go through is truly just preparing us for, the struggles that we're going to have later in life. And it's teaching us lessons that we're going to have to go through later. And we're going to tackle those lessons and we're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I've already been through this. I've been through something like this. Or, maybe this new thing is way harder than what I've had to deal with in the past. But since I dealt with that thing in the past, I'm stronger. I'm a stronger person for it. And now I can delve right into it. And something that I know I do, to go back to, I feel like this is going to be my life forever. Us 20-year-olds can easily over dramatize everything. Every single thing. We're truly like, but I was going to be friends with this person for the rest of my life. I was going to marry this person. I was planning on staying in this job for a few years. Like, I was planning to do this. I was planning to do that. And then something changes. And then we're like, huh? What are we supposed to do now? Guess what? There's so much other stuff that's going to happen to us. There's so many other things that are going to happen. And there's so much struggles, but then happiness that we're going to live and go through. And we're going to literally look back and be like, oh my God. Do you remember that time when I was like sad about this? This like tiny thing. And then I'll have to be like, yeah, that's embarrassing for me. No, it's never embarrassing because all the feelings that we're feeling are true. And we're allowed to struggle and go through it. But I think just to make it easier on yourself, be like, yeah, this isn't going to last forever. And we still have so much life to live. Like, that's something that I have to tell myself almost all the time. is be like, girly, it'll be okay. It will be okay, and you won't be doing this forever. So that leads me to my next point. How have I been trying to move forward? And I'll be completely honest, I'm still a little bit in the negative stage. I'm trying to still tell myself that things are going to be okay. It's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be my life forever. But I'm still a little bit in that stage. I'm still a little bit like, I'm just freaking upset. I'm just freaking sad. I'm freaking tired. That's mostly what I'm feeling, is that I'm freaking exhausted of feeling this way. So how I've been trying to move forward. Well, number one thing that I did that I feel already so much happier about is that I cleaned my room. And this is the tiniest, smallest thing that I could have done. But guess what? I didn't clean my room for weeks. It was bad. I was obviously, when you have your depression room, this is what it was. It was a mess. I hadn't vacuumed. This is like gonna get disgusting. I didn't dust. There was dust everywhere. I would wake up, with congestion, and I'm like, why is this? Oh, maybe because the hawk of dust on my windowsill I'm breathing it in. Ew, that's so gross. But for real, I was sitting in that mess because I was sad and I was miserable. And I was like, no, I'm freaking done. I'm sick of being in this gross ass room. This obviously isn't making me feel any better. So I cleaned my room. I vacuumed. I went through my closet, got rid of clothes. I dusted the heck out of this room. There's not a piece of dust in this room anymore. Thank God. I cleaned my mirrors. I changed out my pots. I have little plants in my rooms, and they needed to be repotted. I fixed that. I dusted all my light bulbs. I dusted the pictures on my walls. I literally cleaned the heck out of my room. And I just did that yesterday. Because I was like, you know what? I'm making a change. I am sick of this. I'm sick of being gross. I'm sick of being sad. And you know what? It actually helped a lot. Because now I'm looking at my room and I'm like, yeah, okay. Things are going to be okay. Like, look at my room. It's looking spiffy. It's looking good. Like, I am going to, do things in my life to also make it clean and good and happy. So I did that. Then the next thing I did, I took a shower. Because, when you have your depression room, you also don't take showers. And in my defense, I also didn't have time to take a shower because I've been working a lot. And even in this next week, I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to take a shower. And let me just tell you, so I didn't wash my hair because I took body showers, but I didn't wash my hair. So I didn't wash my hair for over a week. And let me just tell you, my hair was like matted together. It was like actually getting disgusting. And I was like, oh, cool. So I'm in the shower. I'm combing the heck through my hair. It's taking forever. I finally get it all brushed out like over and over again. I double shampoo, I condition, I do the whole thing. And I don't know about you guys, but if you ever take a shower and you brush your hair, I don't know if you brush your hair in the shower. Us curly girls, we got to do that. At least that's what I do. And so also a thing with curly hair is that we shed a lot, but it stays like on our head because we don't brush it dry. And so the time that I get out, all the sheddings is in the shower when I comb it out. And let me just tell you, the hair ball that I pulled from my freaking head was insane. It was massive and it was disgusting. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, so my hair's just been looking like actual dreads. And I didn't mean for it to be doing that. And here we are. So now I feel clean. My hair is up in a towel turban at the moment, feeling clean and refreshed. And I have to say, taking a shower really just like rejuvenates your soul. Like you're truly like, okay, I'm a new woman. I am starting over. And so that was my thought of taking a shower. That was really nice. Next thing I was doing was getting outside. We know how I feel about the outdoors. This is very, if you are not an outdoorsy person, like this isn't going to make you feel better, then probably don't do it. But yesterday I was in the house for most of the day, but I got to have a nice evening outdoors, and we like walked around next to the water, and that was really nice, especially because in my job, like I'm at a store, so I'm like inside pretty much all the time, and then I'll just go straight home. Like I won't take time to spend some time outside. So I think I'm going to try and do that today as well. I want to try and dry my hair so then I can step outside for a little bit. And yeah, that's really helpful. That's really nice. Getting outside always just makes me feel one with the earth. To be super corny, but like it's true. You really realize like, oh, I'm just like a speck of dirt on a other speck of dirt in a universe of specks of dirts. Like you realize how, tiny and insignificant you are, but in a good way. Not in a, ooh, but in a, oh, nothing really matters kind of way. And then for me, in a way to try to move myself forward, I've been trying to think of the future in a positive and exciting way instead of a daunting way. Because as a Capricorn, even though that's my rising sign, my Capricorn rising, and anyone with Capricorn in their big three or in their chart, whatever, you know what I'm about to say. We have high expectations for ourselves, and we think about the future. We think about where we're going to be and how successful we're going to be in the future and blah, 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 blah. Let me just say, I would like to rip that part of me out. I'm sick of it. But guess what? I do it. So I've been trying to think of the future in just a positive way. Being like, oh, you know what'd be really cool is if I did this in the future. That would be fun. That would be cool. I like that for me later on in life. Like the thing that I'm so bad at with this is that I think like, oh, I should be doing that now. Like, how have I not already accomplished that? Like, oh my gosh. And then for me, it is also hard because I will compare myself to other people who maybe are farther than me and they're younger than me, or they're a little bit older than me, but they've still done so many more things that I'm like, yeah, there's no way that I'm going to be like that in like 2 years. But I'm trying to take that out of my mindset because one, it's not healthy. And two, it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own timelines. And so for me, for my future, what I want to accomplish, I'm setting out little goals, but it's going to be okay if they don't happen. And it's also okay that I haven't done it yet and that will happen eventually. It doesn't mean that my life is going to shit or that I'm wasting my time. So that is another thing that I'm trying to get into my mind, that what I'm doing right now is not a waste of time. It's where I need to be right now in this path of life. Where you're at right now is where you need to be. So, trying to keep that in my mindset. And finally, how I wanted to end this episode was to do some gratitude. Because, like I said, I'm still kind of in the negative stage. So I'm trying to bust my way out of that, remind myself of all the positive things that can come from this, positive things that are still happening in my life that I am thankful for. And so let's just get into it. So my first thing that I am thankful for is my family, obviously. I'm very much a family type person, and even though maybe, I don't talk to my family all the time, except for my mom, because I obviously live with her, but it's not like I'm constantly having conversations with my family, but it is nice to talk to them, or it's just nice to know that they're there is also kind of a thing that I've realized. It's like, yeah, maybe we don't talk every day, but whatever, like they are still there. They're present. I know that I can lean on them if I need to. Like, it is okay. Stuff like that. So, thankful for them. Then, next, I have my health. I am very thankful, obviously, in this time of a pandemic, that I am still healthy, that everyone in my family and my friends are healthy, that we're doing okay, and that we are, knock on wood, gonna stay this way for a while. Pretty much everyone in my family has gotten their first vaccine. Now we're all starting to get our second ones, and that just makes me happy that we're all kind of on that path together. And same with my friends, that we can stay healthy and help others by getting this vaccine. And so I'm very thankful for that, and thankful for, hopefully moving forward, my health stays good. Next, I'm thankful for my friends. My friends are truly, like, I think about this all the time. My friends are truly like my life, my support system, my everything. Even if there are times, because there are times that I am a very private person where I don't talk about my emotions or whatever. But I know that they are there regardless, and they want me to lean on them at any time. And so I just want to say to all my friends listening, even if you're out there thinking like, oh, is she talking about me? I don't know. Like, we've only talked once or twice. I'm literally talking about any single one of you who I have connected with or talked to or whatever, or best friends, whatever, that I greatly, greatly appreciate you and all the energy that you have given to me, because truly I feel like that has shaped me into the person that I am now, and how I treat others and how I move forward is because the interactions that I've had with you guys. So thanks. Thanks so much, heart. Love you. But truly, I am very, very grateful for them. The fourth thing, I am very grateful for Washington, the state that I live in. I'm very, very grateful to have this space. Washington is truly a great state, with so many things. One, with its just beauty. I can't get over how beautiful Washington is. I even live, let me just say, I kind of live in a gross-ish town. It's kind of meh. But it's only gross because, there's some people in here that are a little gross. But, the scenery is amazing. I am surrounded by water and mountains and trees and hikes and, all this amazing stuff that I'm like, okay, living at home is not that bad. And that's something that I, again, need to remind myself. It's when I'm struggling with living with my parents, because that is one of the struggles that I'm having. At least the place that I'm living is really beautiful, and I can get out of the house and I can go on these hikes and experience the state that I'm living in, even though I'm living at home, So I'm thankful for Washington. And finally, to get a little sappy, I am thankful for myself. And the reason that I'm saying that is basically, and I tell this to my friends sometimes, you are going to be stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. So if you're not, your own best friend, then what's the frickin' point? And I have definitely been, obviously, leaning on myself a lot. And I've been trying to be kind to myself. And I'm very thankful with how resilient I am, how strong I am, how, I have a very good work ethic. And I'm proud of where I am right now. And so I'm very thankful that I am capable of things. Thank God. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up today's episode. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could ever talk about an hour about deep stuff. I think I would probably start crying because there's just so much to say. So we're keeping it at 30 minutes. But I hope that some of you guys can resonate with the stuff that I've said, and I hope that basically everyone knows, like, hey, if you are struggling or if you are out there not having a good time, that basically time heals all wounds. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to probably be a gross process, but in the end, something good might come out of it and you'll be a better person for it. So just try to keep that in mind. If you're going through a hard time, just like me, guess what? We're both going through it. And yeah, so that is today's episode. Next week we'll probably go straight back into the stupid, silly stuff. But I'm glad that we had this deep conversation because, again, I feel like we've been needing it. I feel like I've definitely been needing it to just sit down and vent to you guys. Even if I can't be super specific, at least you guys know, like, you know, kind of what's going on in my life or what's happening and how I'm trying to get out of this mindset and stuff like that. And, you know, this might be some stuff that I've already said in the past, but, you know, maybe there's a reason. Maybe the stuff that I said in the past was actually helpful, so I'm saying it again. But yeah, so that is the end of today's episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you all next week in a brand new episode. Bye.